What has happened in the last couple of days is absolutely monumental. And those who are not paying attention to the updates and who are not paying attention to macro as well as technicals, I'm afraid they are risking to literally be left behind. So for you not to be left behind, I've actually put it all together into a video that is hopefully going to be around 10 minutes so you actually get a good picture of what is happening technically in terms of macro, because the shift is crazy and there is so much stuff happening in the background that a lot of people are missing out. And if they don't understand this, they will possibly just lose money or not make money when it's possible. So let's just dive straight into this. Actually, this morning, just now, while I was preparing the video, I missed a trade. I will show you because I'm showing you everything transparently, and I hope that you respect that. Also, recently, I had a very nice quick short trade, and I've taken another quick short trade right here, but it didn't work out, and it was a very, very squeezed range type of a short trade in case if it actually does move in our favor. Would be a nice profit, but did stop me out. But there was a nice trade opportunity just now, and I missed it because I was creating the video, and I thought I had the order put in, but I didn't. It was a different order. So, but I will go over it. We'll come back to the charts in just a sec. I'll give you the updates of what actually matters and what actually moves the price right now, because a lot of you think that right now technicals are dominating, but my friends, it's not the technicals. In the bull run, when everything is exploding, technicals work better. Right now, it's more fundamentals. When low liquidity in the market is, it's more driven by news, macro, and events. It's just a fact. So we're going to go over that, and then we're going to come back to the chart and talk about different trades I'm gearing up for. So before we do, remember about Bybit, and certainly if you guys are not trading over in Bybit, you can claim up to $30,000 in initial deposit bonuses and a 42% discount on trading fees with an exclusive link down in the description of this video that Bybit was enough to provide, nice enough to provide for our community. And if you're from Europe, also get ready to switch to Bybit EU. And also what you have on Bybit, there's actually traditional finance as well. So you can actually trade TradFi. So you can actually trade traditional stocks and stuff like that, which is pretty awesome for a crypto platform. So there's quite a few things. It's a KYC platform, yes, but so it's not anonymous. It is big, centralized, and all the shenanigans. But there's so many benefits to it. And certainly Bybit is getting a license in Europe, so soon you'll be able to switch to Bybit EU. And for that, I will give you the instructions of how to do it properly. So anyway, moving forward, and let's discuss the big things of this month and really the monumental shift in terms of events globally when it comes to crypto that really will shape the future price action if they were to come to fruition. So first of all, 9th of April is the deadline for the tariffs. Because as you might remember, the big collapse in stocks and also in crypto was because of the tariffs and the Liberation Day by Trump's administration. So they actually paused it and delayed by about 90 days. And July, I just realized that I had the wrong tweet for the tariff thing. Anyway, so on the 9th of July, we have the deadline for the tariffs. And this is going to have a profound effect on the market. So it's really going to depend on which countries made a deal. So which tariffs are going to go forward? Is the trade war fears going to come back? So this is going to bring a lot of volatility. So pay attention to July 9th for that matter. Going forward, what is also important before I move to the juice of this video, I'm just giving you the pieces of the puzzle by the level of importance so you actually get the clue here. So key macro events in July, ISM data, I don't really care about this. What we care about is July 15th CPI data and then FOMC meeting on July the 30th. This is going to be huge in terms of interest rates and the rhetoric that Jerome Powell is going to give us in the press conference. So that's going to be closer to the end of the month. But here is what is getting the juice to spill out of this video a bit more, but this is not all. We're going to get to the main juice again closer to the end of this list. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott said a digital asset bill is coming in mid-July. So this is huge. Again, and this is separate from the Genius stablecoin bill, which is going to take some time to come to reality. But this is separate. And this is something that HR 3633, which is highly anticipated digital asset bill that can really rock the fundamentals of the crypto industry in the US. And it's coming mid-July. Everything in July. Interesting month. Even though everybody, and remember I told you that I'm not really expecting this summer to be quiet. A lot of people said sell in May, go away. And for some reason, I had this feeling that if the cycle shifted they might as well throw in so much goodness during the summer that it actually is going to be, maybe if not incredibly good, at least it's not going to be bad, and something that usually the summer is. And so far we are not in the middle of the summer, but it's kind of proving that I possibly was correct. So a huge boost for tokenization and real world assets. And he also says that he has seen no inflation from tariffs, and the Fed Chair Powell's successor is coming as soon as weeks from now. So I did dig a bit deeper into this. It's not really confirmed by the White House that they're so actively looking for a replacement. They are looking for a replacement, but it's not guaranteed it's going to happen within weeks, even though he kind of said and hinted that it's theoretically possible. So maybe even in July, by the gods and grace will, we will actually get a new chair, Fed chair, who will be inclined to cut rates. So also July. Interesting. Moving on, which is not all yet. So now we're getting to the juice of the juice. So right now we are saying that a lot of funds, all the majors, are seeking to add staking to their ETFs, like 21 Shared and Grayscale, etc. So they actually have requests to add staking to the Ethereum ETFs. And this might happen quite quickly. And this is what I've been telling you guys about, that once Ethereum ETF receives staking abilities, it's going to completely transform the narrative for institutionals to buy Ethereum. And if you actually check Ethereum, like for example, Bitcoin ETFs are actually quite strong, but Ethereum ETFs are also strong. 100 million, 70 million, 60 million, 77 million, 31 million. This is a lot more than ever before. And I think that this is a big bet on the fact that staking is coming to the Ethereum, and it's the second biggest ecosystem that is paying dividends to Wall Street holders. Insanely juicy. And those of you who said that this is never going to happen, it's impossible, well, we just got good news for Solana. Even though I'm not a fan of Solana, you know my take on this, because it's not the most reliable blockchain. But nonetheless, Solana just received its ETF approval. That's why yesterday we actually saw a nice pump in Solana. However, even though the pump was quite nice, and it also came together with the fact that Robinhood is actually, you can actually, Solana added tokenized stocks to it, so you can actually trade tokenized stocks with just 55 assets, but nonetheless, and all of this sent Solana to like $160, and it kind of broke this resistance, which used to be resistance and support, which is a very important level for us, but it just shows how weak the market is. So many good news, it's pretty freaking incredible, but at the same time, the price is just so weak and just gets rejected from every single level. So, nonetheless, if Solana has an ETF that actually has staking in it, with staking, Ethereum obviously is going to get it too. So and when that happens, I think that Ethereum is going to outshine absolutely everything else in the altcoin space, my personal humble opinion. I still stick by that ideology. Going forward is this piece of news right here, which is old as day, but I think important as hell. And that is the M2 money supply. And right now, the M2 money supply just keeps climbing. The global liquidity, it just keeps going and going. And right now, if we follow M2 money supply, and Bitcoin usually does, maybe with some kind of delay, give or take 90 days, it should put Bitcoin at like 150,000, which is my personal target for this bull run, where I'll sell a big portion of my Bitcoin and just retire and stop even making videos, as I told you guys before. So this really would be a nice continuation for this move, and possibly in July with all these good news, this is something that could happen. But for the time being, the market is just too weak. And I told you guys before, really, for biggest pumps, we need rates down, money printer on, free money in the market, just flowing into the assets. For the time being, there is none of that. It still is a very difficult environment for just people in general. So that's why the price action is still quite weak, even though it kind of is surviving. But yeah. Given all these facts, you would ask me, why is the price not really performing? And you know what's sad? I actually missed an entry, which was right here. Beautiful entry at 106,700. And this is just the entry off of a basic technical level, just because the idea right now is that we had so many great news and so much anticipation for this month that I just told you, that the market kind of is like, okay, let's just price it in and, buy the rumors, sell the news, and so many things have happened that the market is just like, nah, maybe we can correct and kick out the people who really are longing us with 100x leverage at this point. So even though this level was important, and I'm sad that I didn't take a long from here because it could have been already in break even. I love these kinds of trades because these kinds of trades I've been taking quite a bit here, and I take a lot of break even trades, but then once a trade plays out, I just take a nice profit. And you've guys seen these before. I've just showed you my P&L. I showed you my history for the last few months of trading, and not too many people do that, so hopefully it brings you some kind of respect. So, well, missed a nice entry. Anyway, my idea here is that I would really, again, I don't have a crystal ball. I cannot predict every single freaking movement of the price. However, it would be nice to see some kind of a continuation at this point, that if we have this kind of formation and then just another dip here just to consolidate and then continue to again, this is the perfect world scenario. It might not happen, fine. So the areas of interest are 109. It used to be 106.7. Well, thank you. But main area of interest for me is 104, so it's a daily imbalance. So, and certainly for Ethereum, the level of interest is right here. That's 2400, and the daily imbalance of 23.3. Right now, with the strength of Ethereum, I don't think we're gonna get there. So for me, at least, I would want to take a long trade off of 2400 and then see if we can actually clear this resistance of 2500 and go back into the order block of like 2700. So this is my target right now. I'm not in any trades right now except for my spot, and remember, 99% of the money that I have in crypto is in spot at this point. It used to be that 10% in futures, but now it's like 99% spot, just because I want the money printer back on. I want volatile days where I can put in those $1 million trades again, where it's easier to do active trading. So this is about the situation right now. And guys, check out this video popping up on your screen if you want to learn why 97% of traders actually lose money and cannot show you a good trading performance and a P&L, and the reasons behind it and possible solutions as to what I've been using in the last few years to survive even through bear markets. So check it out, and I'll see you next video.